Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to HG Radio, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. Here is your co-founder and host, Kim Becker.
Hello, gorgeous, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and this is Hello, Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. This episode is brought to you by Amplified Marketing Group. They specialize in affordable mobile solutions that will get you noticed and help you retain customers. Check them out at yourphoneguy.com. Our guest today is Riley Halfman. Riley has worked at Douglas J. Salon and Spa in Okemos, Michigan for over 12 years. She is a hair designer, educator, and salon coach. Her passion is fueled by her drive to always do better for her guests and her team because they deserve it. She currently lives on a farm with her husband, Joe, of 11 years, and their 1.5-year-old daughter, Allie, and their dog, Millie. Hi, Riley, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Kim.
How are you?
Good. It's a rainy day here in Michigan, but we are doing well.
Good. Well, I am so excited to have you on the show and share about the work that you do with Douglas J and the work that you do with Hello Gorgeous. And so the first question I have for you is, how did you even get interested in the beauty profession?
Well, I actually wasn't going to go into the beauty profession right away.
Okay.
Which is, many hairdressers have that story. But I started off at Michigan State University, and I was majoring in packaging engineering, and just kind of felt like something was missing. I always loved doing hair, but I grew up in a very small town, and I didn't really think you could make much money at it. And Douglas J, one of our schools, is actually right across the street from Michigan State University. So I popped over there one day and did a tour, and the moment I walked in, I just fell madly in love and decided that that's where I had to be.
Wow. Well, mine is, when I graduated from high school, I wanted to be an attorney. And, back in the day, I'm older than you. And so way back when, college saving plans and 529, nobody was even thinking about saving for college. And so my parents were like, that's great. If that's what you want to do, become an attorney, that's fine, but you're on your own. You got to figure out a way to pay for it. And I was working as a receptionist at a tanning salon, and they had hair stations there too. And so the girls that were there talked me into going to beauty school. And they said, you could go to beauty school and literally pay for your way all the way through your undergrad as well as your law school, and never have to take out a student loan because you could be cutting hair on the dorm floors or find a job in a salon, whatever it would be. And so that's what I did. Was I had gone to beauty school, and then I never looked back. I never did become an attorney. So, but that was, sounded like a good plan at the time. So, but it's funny, right? When like when that that's what you're supposed to do, you just know that that's what you're supposed to do. So I think that's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. I think there's definitely a calling to this profession for sure.
I think so too.
You have to do it.
You have to love it, and you have to have a heart. I think that there's a lot of compassion because you really are. They say a therapist and a psychologist, and you do a lot of talking, but you do a lot of listening too. And, I know when I was behind the chair for a long time, and maybe that's what drew me so much to Hello Gorgeous and Women with Cancer. But, so many times, like I was the first person to know that they were diagnosed with cancer, like before their husband or their parent or, whoever it would be, they would come into me first. And maybe they didn't even have an appointment. Maybe it would just be, can I stop by the salon for a minute? And I was the first one to find out that they had cancer, but they knew that we are trusted individuals, right? And I think it's the relationship that you build with these clients that makes you that trusted person.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
So tell us a little bit about the history of Douglas J.
So Douglas J actually has a pretty rich history, I would say. Doug and his wife, Sharon, opened their first salon actually 53 years ago. So in 1967, believe it or not.
Wow.
And they only started with 4 stylists and 1 nail technician and 1 receptionist. They later grew much larger, into what we call, I guess, our flagship salon here in Okemos. And we now have 100 people on staff.
Wow.
And Sharon spearheaded opening up our spa end of our salon. So we are fully functioning with nails and estheticians, massage therapists, hair. We have also expanded. We have actually 5 salons. Okemos is the largest. The other salons are a little smaller, where they only have 6 or 7 chairs. But Doug also, he felt there was a need to have better education for hairdressers. And in, 1986, so that's about 34 years ago, he opened his first school in Lansing. And that has expanded into 6 schools. So there are 5 in Michigan, 1 in Chicago, and then 1 in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Wow. And so do they recruit then for their salons from the beauty schools? Do they find that the majority of their stylists come from that, or do they come from other beauty schools as well?
Yeah, actually, absolutely. I would say 90% of our staff are from our schools, actually. I think they, get the passion for Douglas J at the school, and then they decide they want to come and work for us. They know we are heavy on education. Once you come to our salon, you go through another education program. But I will say something that's kind of cool, or that I've always thought was kind of cool, was in our interview process, we don't have you cut hair for us or color hair as a tryout. Doug's philosophy was always, I can teach anyone how to cut hair and color hair, but I can't teach somebody to be a good person and to show up on time and, be there for our guests. So I think that's kind of a cool difference about us.
Well, and you obviously have created a culture. I was a hairdresser for 30 years and owned my own salon for 10 years. And we did the whole full service salon, and we did where we had commission stylists, and then we did independent contractors, and then we did a mix of both. And the profession has changed. It's evolved over time. It's certainly not the same that it was 30 years ago when I got into the business. And the fact that you guys have 5 salons, 5 locations that are still commission based says a lot about your culture, because it's just, there's so many, independent contracting and a lot of the sweet businesses that have emerged over the past 15, 20 years. That wasn't even a contender when I owned my salon. So the fact that you guys have been able to weather that through that competition, I think it's incredible, the culture that you created.
Oh, it's honestly, it's been amazing. I mean, it's family owned. Doug actually did pass away 2 years ago, so we do miss him. But his 2 sons, Scott and TJ, have taken over the business, and they've been running the business for many years now. And it's been incredible what they've been able to grow and evolve it into.
That's awesome. So how long have you been in your position, and what exactly do you do for Douglas J?
So I have worn many hats in my career. So I'm in my 13th year right now, and I started as a designer. So we do specialize at our salon, whether you cut or color hair. And I was behind the chair for about 10 years. I was an advanced educator for 5 years. And then I've been a salon coach for about 3 years now. So my job just kind of consists of helping to develop all of our staff, mainly our younger staff, with goal settings. And, I try to meet with them, as often as I can to help them celebrate what they're doing and going through, and helping them navigate the salon, because it can be a little intimidating when you're new at our salon because it is so large. But I also work with our many teams. We have a huge guest service team that I work with their coach, and we have a couple other coaches that I work with as well. And just trying to really maintain a really good work environment for our team and our guests.
So of all of the hats that you've worn, what has been your favorite hat to wear so far?
I think right now is my favorite because I really am involved with just trying to make things better. It's learning because, as you know, the salon industry is constantly changing, and there's always something new popping up, and trying to just be better, and make sure that we still have that point of difference from Sally's salon down the street.
Mm-hmm. And so do you still work behind the chair too, or are you just a full-time coach for the up and coming stylists?
I do 1 day a week, actually.
Okay.
Cut hair.
And I think that that's good because then you can relate to what the younger up and coming team may have, whether it's a challenge with a salon guest or whether it's, skills or whatever. You can speak to that because you're actually walking the walk.
Absolutely. Because that is the hard part. When you have newer staff come on, they don't know your story. They don't know, how long you were behind the chair for so long. And, and it's nice that they still get to see me doing that once in a while.
That was my favorite. Like I said, we had done it all where we would take stylists that had existing clienteles. We would take stylists that had just come out of beauty school and then train them and build their chair and build their book. And that, I have to say, that was like my favorite. I enjoyed getting them out of school. I enjoyed watching them evolve into these incredible stylists. And when I would get the stylist out of school, I would always say to them, look, I'm training you to be better than me. My job is to not make you me, or not to be a mini Kim. Yes, there are things that I to our brand, I want you to make sure that you can speak to those. But for the most part, I really, that's my job, is to train you so that you become a better hairstylist than I ever was. That was really, truly, in my heart of hearts, what I wanted to be able to do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and that's what I tell them all the time, because sometimes they get caught up in, oh, I want to be just like this person or just like this person. And I'm like, no, just take a little bit from that person, a little bit of that person, and become yourself.
That's
because
right.
Nobody's going to do it better than you.
That's right. Well, and I think even to the way that you talk to a guest or relate to a guest, they come to you for you, they come to you because of who you are and the personal story that you have, not necessarily because of your neighbor, because if they liked your neighbor, they would go to your neighbor's chair,
Right.
And so it really is about developing that relationship too. So how are you guys doing? Like, we're in the middle of this COVID-19. I know Michigan has been one of, you guys are still not open yet, correct?
Correct.
And
Yes,
so are you going 8 weeks now that you've been closed?
I believe so. Yeah. Yep. We've
Is
been
it
on
8?
for 2 months. We were hoping to open June 1st, but we're just kind of waiting on what the governor is going to mandate. We've heard that salons in Michigan aren't going to open until phase 5, and that we're currently in phase 3. So we are just crossing our fingers and hoping that they open us sooner, but we'll just have to kind of see what happens.
And what have you guys done as like management to kind of keep everybody engaged and to keep spirits up and to really encourage that team, even if it's, long distance? What have you guys done to do that?
So we've done a couple things. We have this great system called Teams, and it's similar to Skype, where we can get everybody from actually all our locations on.
Oh, wow.
And we have what we call coffee breaks every 2 days a week. Usually they are Mondays and Fridays at like 9 a.m. And, Scott and TJ, the owners, are on there, the CEO, everybody is on there in our higher leadership. And they're able to, communicate to us what's going on, what they